Hello everyone, welcome to the week 2 PR4 tutorial. Hope you had a good time working with Code Academy and you got to learn lots of new things. Also, I hope you worked with WordPress and you discovered how easy it can be to work with content management systems. Perhaps you installed some plugins and things like that. So please keep using these platforms because they will help you in the future when you go to do your internship, or even just to build a website for your friends or family and things like that. It's a really good way to learn. But today what we're going to do is we're going to start by working in Dreamweaver. So applying the knowledge you've got from Code Academy, and we'll start to build our websites within Dreamweaver, as I said. But today we're just really going to start to look at how we set up the site and to look through the actual platform itself. So let's start with Dreamweaver. So I'll just move outside of Code Academy just now, but we'll come back to it in a little minute. Now remember, I'm working on a PC here just now, so things will be a little bit different. So if you're on the Mac, just select the icon from the applications like so, and you will get Dreamweaver opening up. Now this is a little exercise I've been working on in the meantime, so you'll probably not see this. Also, you might see a different perspective, a different view, and the view mode might be, I suggest, something like that. Okay, but I prefer to work in Dreamweaver with my code on the left and my browser view on the right. And if you look back to Code Academy, we've got the same type of thing here. We've got all the instructions that we need to follow down there. We have the index HTML, or all the coding part of what we have, and also the CSS styles here. And on the right hand side we can see what the browser view of what we're coding would look like. Okay, so it's pretty much the same as in Dreamweaver. Let me see, we have three different views. We have a split view, a live view, and a code view. Now the code view just means that you would code the entire document without actually viewing it, which I don't really like to do. I prefer to have it the split view, like so, and you can change it to your preference if you want it 50-50, or if you want to see more of the code or more of the kind of browser view here. And the live view there just shows you what it would look like rendering in your browser. So now let's set up a site directory for Dreamweaver. Okay, so to do this, the easiest way to do this, there's many different ways, but the easiest way that I think is to, first of all, just reduce the size of Dreamweaver just now and your browser, and just go to your desktop. And what we want to do here is we want to make a folder structure. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll call this one week 2 tutorial. And in that folder we will create a new folder and we'll call this one images. And next to that we'll create a new folder and we'll call this one CSS. So what we'll do is we'll save all our documents in here. We'll save our index file in here and we'll save our CSS document in there. And this is good practice because we'll be doing this in the exam. We might have other folders we'll have to keep as well, for example for text or for videos, etc. But this is good practice to just set up a very simple folder structure like this just now, which is staying on the desktop, week 2 tutorial, image folder and a CSS folder. So if we just close that, and if we go back into Dreamweaver, what we'll do is we'll create some new files. So I'll just close this one just now, and I'll just go to File New, I'll select HTML, and I can give it a title here just now, and I'll call this one week 2. And the doc type is HTML5. So I'll just click create just now, and there is our blank HTML page. So now what we have to do is we have to save this document into the site directory and also create and save the CSS file, which is a cascading style sheet, and link it to this file we have here just now. So first things first, we'll go File, Save As, and this is a previous website I've been working on, so I'll just move away from that. A week 2 tutorial, and we'll just call this one index, and I'll just save that like so. So maybe if we quit outside here just now and we look inside week 2, we can already see that index file saved there already. I'll go back to Dreamweaver, and now I'm going to create a new CSS page. So just click CSS, I click create, it's given us a new document here, and I'll just go File, Save As, Desktop week 2 tutorial, CSS, and I'll call this one W2 for week 2, and I just click save, and then it's changed it here, and I now have our index HTML there. So we can just tab between the two files that we need. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is we need to go File, Attach Style Sheet. So when we click that, we can now browse to our folder, which is Desktop week 2 tutorial, and select the CSS Cascading Style Sheet, and then click OK, OK again. So now we can see that the link from the style sheet is embedded in the head of the HTML document. We can see it's linked in the file here by this little tab, so we can tab between the two. So that means we don't actually have to have the CSS document open, and we could just switch views there, which is a really nice little feature. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to actually set up the site from within Dreamweaver. So if we go to the menu here and we click Site, and we'll click New Site, we get this text box appearing, and it's going to ask us what we want to call the site name. So again, we'll just call this, for example, a week 2 tutorial, and it's going to ask us where the local site folder is. So again, we can just navigate to the desktop, this one here, there's a folder. So we've already made and linked our files, so it's just a case of just mapping them. So we can now go to the advanced, and this is always by default. It's good to identify where your image folder is. So at the moment we'll just look through the local info, and we'll look for the default image folder. If we click this, and it's already there for us because we made it earlier on, just click that. We don't have any images at the moment, but we can just select folder, then we can click save, and we can now see appearing under our file structure that we have the site named week 2 tutorial. There's the link to where it is. Inside it we have our CSS file here. We've got an empty image folder at the moment, and we have our index sitting outside. So that is the steps that we need to go through when we make our folder structure and our files, HTML and CSS, both linked up within Dreamweaver. So that was our first site that we have managed to create in Dreamweaver. Now what I'll do next is to show you how to do it again in a completely different way. So to do that, I'm just going to close this, and what we'll start to do, if you imagine we've just opened up Dreamweaver, this time what we'll do is we'll just go to Site, New Site, and we'll call this one week. I'll call this one week 2 like that to make it different. I'll and then it will ask me to find my site directory. So what I then have to do, I have to create that from inside Dreamweaver. So I'll just click select folder and I'll call this one week_2 and just select it like so. Go to advanced settings. Oh, sorry, back again. Sorry, advanced settings, go to local info, and then we're going to look for, we're going to make our, image folder. And just next to that, just for speed, we're going to make our new CSS folder. So we can see desktop, inside week 2, we have 2 folders, images and CSS, but it's asking us to select what a default images folder should be. So obviously it's this one here. Just click select, and that is us. Just click save, and there we've set up our site. Now the difference is now what we need to do is to create our media files. So we need to create our HTML file and our CSS file, and we need to link them. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just go file new. First of all, create HTML, and I'll call this one index again. HTML, and I can click create. I can also attach a style sheet from here, but I'll just create it this way first. Create, and I'll say file, save as, and when I do that, you'll see a little icon of it appearing here. So go file, save as, desktop week 2, index. Click save. I made a little mistake here. I've named the title index, so I'll call this one. Oh, excuse me. Just call this one site 2. And if I go back to my files, I can see there is my saved index.html. I can now create a CSS, file new, CSS, click create, and I'll file, save as, desktop week 2, into my CSS, and I'll just call this one week_2, something different again, and click save. And I should be able to see that inside here already. There it is. I'll just click back to my index, and I can go edit, file, attach a style sheet, and browse CSS week 2, OK. And I click OK again, and that's me now attached to my style sheet. We can see the relative link here. And that's us now done 2 sites in one go. So well done. The next thing we'll do is I'm going to introduce you to a little homework exercise. So the last thing we're going to do is introduce you to a little homework assignment. So on NetSchool, I have some files for you, which I'll show you in a second to see where you can get them. And what they'll contain is this index page here. And what I want you to do is to create in the CSS all the styles that will build this page to look like so. So if I go File, Real-Time Preview this in Chrome, you can see what this small web page looks like, and we can see how it responds. Right? So what you'll have to do to find out what the properties are, you'll need to, for example, go back to your Code Academy, look through all the different lessons that you did. You can also go to W3 Schools, for example here, and we can look at the HTML and CSS parts. Gives us a lot of really interesting little exercises. It reminds us as well how to set up an HTML page. Gives an introduction, tells you about some HTML editors, for example. Let's see this, color names, how to use CSS, paragraphs. So it's really good for you guys as well to kind of play around with this, analyse the code, and yeah, it gives you these little nice exercises that you can, for example, let's see if we want to add another paragraph in, Command C, Command V, and we can run it, and we can see that there, we can try these little exercises out. So this is really nice to do. Anyway, back to Dreamweaver. And what you have to do is to create, as I said, the CSS. So before I publish this for you guys, I'm going to take the CSS with all the style information here and I'm going to delete it. Okay, so what you have to do is to figure out from the tags what style information they will need in order to create that page I've just shown you. Okay, so good luck with that. Just try your best, and we'll now look at where they are on NetSchool. So when we navigate our way to NetSchool, we can see all the course documentation, and within the assignments we have the week 2 tutorial, and we have a zip folder containing the index.html and a broken CSS page. So you can download these, create a site directory, and you'll have the source code for the HTML page, as I said, and you'll have some of the source code for the CSS. And all you have to do is to figure out what style information you need, as I said, to create the page, as I've just already demonstrated. So good luck with the homework, everyone. I hope you found that helpful. I hope you've enjoyed working within Dreamweaver, and the more you get used to it, the more you play with it, the more you get used to it, and it's not so difficult. I appreciate it might be a bit overwhelming when you start with it. Anyway, just keep trying it out. I'll be doing more of these lessons over the weeks, giving you little exercises in order to prepare you well for the exam. Okay, so enjoy your little exercise and see you all next week. Thanks, bye bye.